Hi, Alex. Can you see the presentation?
I can see the presentation. All set.
Great, thank you. Alex, can you confirm that the YouTube is operating?
Check.
Yes?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, folks. Welcome to. Before we get started, Commissioner Deleuze would like to make a statement.
Good afternoon, everyone. That's not my statement, but I just wanted, for the record, Chair, today applicant number one, Wyatt's Place LLC, formerly with Daniel DeLuz. Just want the record to know that he is my cousin, or was my cousin. He's passed away, and the property is not owned by the family anymore. So just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that that we'll also have quorum to address the issue. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Deleuze. Before we get started, I always like to let everyone know that if you see us, the commissioners or the planning director looking at their computer or looking at notes or flipping through pages, that we are trying to educate ourselves on the particular matter. So we are paying attention, but we have to, the large volume of material that we have to go through, we have to use our computers and things like that. So I just want to make that statement. Also, the other statement that I like to make is that we are all volunteers up here. Okay. So we have no monetary gain or anything like that. So this is part of our civic duty. And anyone can be a planning commissioner. Okay. So, and I encourage folks, if they are interested in things like this, to sign up. Okay. The regular meeting of the Windward Planning Commission will come to order. It is Thursday, February 6, 2025. The time is 1:02 p.m. This meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. I will introduce the commissioners. We have Vice Chair Chantel Perrin.
Morning or good afternoon.
Commissioner Wayne Deleuze.
Present.
Commissioner Gordon Takaki. Commissioner Baylog is absent and excused. And I am Chair Louis Danieli III. We have quorum of 4 members to hold this meeting. Also present, also present, Deputy Corporation Counsel Cody Friends is covering for Deputy Corporation Counsel Susanna Tiapula, who is the attorney for the commission and is present to advise the commission on legal matters. And Planning Director Jeffrey Darrell is present to advise the commission on planning matters should any questions arise.
Aloha.
The planning director is representing the planning department and is not a member of the planning commission. Commissioners, please confirm that you have had the opportunity to review the materials related to the agenda item being reviewed today. Simple. Yeah, verbal, yes. Okay, I note that each commissioner has verbally confirmed having had the opportunity to review materials related to the agenda item being reviewed today and all submitted testimony. Housekeeping. Please turn off or silence your cell phones. Public restrooms are located outside in the middle of the building to the right. If there is anyone here in person who would like to testify, please fill out the yellow sign-up sheet from the staff table over by the door. Also, if you have any written testimony that has not been sent in earlier, you may submit it now. Okay, approval of minutes. The November 1st, 2024 and November 4th, 2024 and December 5th, 2024 regular and special minute meetings have been circulated. Commissioners, are there any corrections? Okay, if not, I may ask for a motion to approve as circulated the minutes. Okay, so it was moved by Commissioner Takaki and seconded by Commissioner Deleuze. Deleuze. Okay, and that was the regular and special meeting minutes of November 1st. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Any discussion on the minutes? No, if no, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, statement from the public on agenda items. As stated in the public agenda, members of the public may provide public testimony regarding any agenda item now or at the time of the agenda item is called to order. Testifiers on Zoom, please keep your video camera off and audio muted until you are called by the Zoom host to speak. Please note that this is an in-person meeting and that Zoom platform and YouTube live stream are provided as a courtesy. Therefore, our meeting will proceed even if Zoom and/or YouTube connections fail. Before we start to receive public testimony, prudent to Rule 1-5 of the Planning Commission, Rules and Practices and Procedures, I would like to remind everyone to be courteous and respectful of all testifiers, staff members, and commissioners. Please direct all testimony to me as chair. Testimony will be limited to 3 minutes per testifier for each agenda item. Okay. Staff, are there any individuals present to provide in-person testimony?
Good afternoon, Chair.
Good afternoon.
You have 3 in-person testifiers that would like to testify at the beginning of the hearing. I'll call up 2 at a time. Dean Odysseus Yakalis, thank you. And Ellsworth Kaoi Senior. If you could come to the front table, I can swear you in. Please turn on the microphones in front of you by pressing the dot. Great, thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth today before the Windward Planning Commission? Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining. Please state your name, the town you reside on, and you can begin.
Aloha. My name is Dean Odysseus Yakalis. I live in Lapahoihoi. Thank you all for being here and for your service. I'm testifying on the case for Falls on Fire special permit. This case has a special interest to me, deep interest. It brings together 2 communities that I've spent many years since I first moved to the island in 2000, in March of the year 2000. Those 2 communities are the agricultural community and the dance community. I served for the past 2 years as president of the East Hawaii's Farmers Union, which also, like yourselves, was a job of service, not paid, volunteer job. So I appreciate the time and effort that you're all putting here. As far as dance community goes, for more than 30 years, I've been exploring the potential of dance, especially dance outdoors in beautiful locations, to bring community together and to be a process of higher consciousness and spirituality when conducted with good intention, aligned with Aina in the right way. So I was especially interested to see what this event was going to do, and especially as it was on agricultural land, and understanding how much agricultural land can be misused, especially, in my opinion, in terms of bed and breakfasts, which are affecting housing on the island, as we all know. But that aside, I was especially interested to see how this dance would be conducted, if it would be conducted consciously, if it would be protected, and if it would respect the Aina. I was very pleased to see that it was conducted with good intention. It was obviously a not-for-profit. The admission fees were very minimal for something so extensive on such a beautiful land, just barely, I'm sure, covering whatever logistical costs were there. But more importantly, the event was well protected. That is, everyone looking out for each other, everyone looking out for the INA. The intention of the dance was, as I have been exploring for more than 30 years, integral. And it warmed my heart to see that. It's very rare, and there aren't many locations here on the island where that can take place in a protected environment in the beauty that we all know as the Big Island of Hawaii.
You have 30 seconds left.
So I really hope that the council can consider offering the special permit. It's very difficult to find good locations and good people that are committed to dance on that level of a higher consciousness and good intention. Please consider the special use permit. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm speaking in favor of.
Could you please state your name and the town you're
I'm
from?
sorry, Ellsworth, Kauai. I have prior experience with the establishment there with the previous owners when I'm just a 8-year resident of the Big Island and in the community, so I can speak only back to that. But in 2019, my daughter came home from college in the mainland and needed employment. She was hired by the previous owners there. And because of that opportunity, was able to continue her education and is now very well established and successful. But I got to know the clients, the people that frequented the restaurant. And back in 2019, it was already presumed to me to have been a full service restaurant. My daughter worked as a hostess and a server there. And it appeared that the community accepted it for what it was. And in knowing the current wannabe owners, I've just noticed the improvements, the substantially higher than minimum wage offered, the health and dental packages and everything. And it just seems to me to be a no-brainer that they should be granted their wishes there. And that's kind of all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair, your next testifier is Adam Gratz.
Good afternoon.
Adam, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth now before the Windward Planning Commission? Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left. Please state the name, the town you reside in, and you may begin.
I'm Adam Gratz, Waimea. I've been a physician here in Hawaii. I got my license 2005, opened my first practice in Hawaii. 2006, I started volunteering to provide medical services for music and art festivals, similar to the type that Mr. Tepper is putting on. Music and art festivals absolutely need some sort of, organized and reliable medical first aid services. I volunteered to work with Mr. Tepper and set up a system, including facilities, supplies, and staff for this last recent event. I've been to many, many such events on the mainland and here in Hawaii. It's a very large piece of agricultural land. A very small area of it was used for this event. It was exceptionally well executed, in my opinion, having seen many, many events again. There was very few calls for my services during the event. The guests were very much connected to their separate communities, dance community, music community, art community. I think it was a great cultural experience for the island, and I didn't find that even though there are stages with sound systems, I didn't find it to be unusually loud. And again, I have been to many, including the notorious Burning Man Festival. I worked 10 years as a physician volunteer there. So overall, I just wanted to give you guys my take on what this event was. I thought it was, it was small, but very well thought out, very well executed. And again, besides one fellow who tore his toenail off, there really wasn't much concern. And just for the record, I just wanted to note how impressed I was by the small degree of drinking. I really did not see a lot of alcohol use, and I certainly didn't see any alcohol overdoses, or I didn't have to intervene with anything on that level. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair, we don't have any other testifiers that have signed up to testify now at the beginning of the meeting in person.
Okay. Staff, are there any individuals joining us via Zoom to provide us testimony this afternoon?
Well, right now we have one signed up, but they have not joined. So no, there are no Zoom testifiers at this time.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to thank all the testifiers for your testimony. We appreciate that. Okay. We're going to go on to agenda item number 1. The applicant Wyatt's Place LLC, formerly Daniel DeLuz, PL-SPP-2024-000076, amend SSP 625. Application to amend special permit number 625 to remove the woodworking shop and gallery used to expand the existing certified kitchen and snack shop to establish a restaurant. Special permit number 625 allowed the establishment of a woodcraft wood shop, and subsequent amended added a certified kitchen and snack shop and related improvements on 1.037 acres of land in the State Land Use Agricultural District. The subject property is located at 17-403 Ahu Place at the intersection with Volcano Road, Hawaii Iki Subdivision, Ola'apuna, Hawaii, TMK 3 1-7-021 parcel 025. Staff will now give a PowerPoint presentation by Jessica Andrews. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Just need to get this presentation shared here. Okay, Alex, can you confirm that this is viewable on Zoom?
It is?
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, this is an application to amend a special permit number 625. So you can see the subject property is between the towns of Mountain View and Curtistown, and it's marked on the image with a star on the Mauka side of Volcano Road, the Highway 11. The applicant's request is stated in the following. So special permit number 625, which was approved in 1986 to allow a woodcraft workshop, was amended in 1998 to allow a certified kitchen and snack shop. The current amendment request is to establish a restaurant for up to 40 patrons. The woodworking shop and storage spaces would be converted into areas for dining, pool tables, and a second kitchen. 18 on-site parking stalls, including ADA parking, will be provided for use by restaurant patrons. And a change of use building permit will be obtained for the proposed use, and the applicant will obtain a liquor license prior to serving alcohol. So the purpose of the request is just the background. The current landowner acquired the subject property in 2017 and has since leased the wood shop, snack shop building to a number of tenants. And the applicant has stated that they would like to expand operations and operate a full-service restaurant with seating for patrons. So on this map, you see the county zoning, and the subject property is outlined in red. You can see that it's on the corner of Ahu Ahu Place and Volcano Road, and the zoning is agricultural 1 acre. It's surrounded by mostly agricultural zoning, Ag 20 and Ag 1 acre, and across the highway is single-family residential zoning 20. So it's mostly residential and agricultural use around this area. State land use boundary map shows that the state land use classifies this property as agricultural, and there is, which is in green, and you can see that the pink is urban classification. The general plan designates this property as low density urban. You can see that mustard color swath is all the LDU, low density urban. And surrounding that is in the light green, you can see the important agricultural lands, and white would be extensive agriculture. And this is the applicant's site plan showing you Ahu Ahu Place kind of on the upper right and Volcano Road on the lower portion of the slide. And this shows you the restaurant building to be remodeled. That's the gray hatched building in the center of the property. There is existing gravel driveway and parking. The existing dwelling is located towards the back of the property, along with the existing storage. Sorry, that's actually the existing gallery, but it's proposed to be the storage building. And so most of the property has been developed for the existing special permit, as you can see. This shows you an aerial photograph, and you can see that the Wyatt's Place notation shows you where the property is, again on Ahu Ahu Place. And across Ahu Ahu Place is an existing church that has a permit there. And otherwise, you can see that it's mostly low density residential and agricultural use. These are views of Ahu Ahu Place. On the left is looking south towards the highway with the stop sign there. And on the right side, you see it looking north. On that right slide, the driveway is on the left. I think I can kind of denote it here. This would be one of the driveways into the subject property. And on the right side of this image is where the existing church is. And these are just a series of images taken from our site visit to the property. The subject property, again, is on this left upper slide. You can see another one of the driveways. This would be the main entry driveway into the property, and the building that's currently the snack shop, wood shop, which is where the restaurant would be located. And then on the right side, you see some interior views of the existing building. So with that, the director's recommendation is approval with conditions. I will just note that there was a testimony that came in, I think actually 2 pieces of testimony that you should have received for this item. And I will close my presentation, and if there are any questions, let me know.
Thank you. We'll have is there any questions? Okay, since there are no questions, we'll move on to the applicant's presentation. Will the applicant or their representatives please come forward? Okay, we're gonna swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
I do.
Thank you. Please speak directly into your microphone and state your name, the town you reside in, and who you represent. Also, have you received the background recommendation reports from the planning department? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do you agree with the recommendations, including the proposed conditions?
Yes, with the one noted exception, we sent a letter to the planning department regarding, and I can go over that here.
Okay, okay. And is there anything you'd like to tell the commission about the
Yeah.
application?
John Pippin, I live in Honoka'a. To my right is Mark Singletary, the applicant. We appreciate the presentation from planning staff. We appreciate the favorable recommendation. As stated, this property has been used commercially in a non-specifically agricultural fashion for a great number of years, starting in 1986, again, revised in the late 90s. Things evolve over time. And as stated by petitioners or, testifiers, the community has recognized this as a restaurant for some time, and they've grown to treasure it as a community resource, an option, right, and a place to gather. What we're trying to do is legitimize that and update the record for the special permit with new conditions, make sure everything is up to speed and up to code. So with that, the one requested amendment or suggested amendment was relating to the water supply requirement, and this was just to allow for greater flexibility. So this was in January 31st letter. And instead of, so as it is, the condition reads, the applicant shall provide potable water for the proposed use by one of the following methods and shall provide evidence of the selected method to the planning department prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the proposed use. It does read currently, install a larger water meter capable of providing the water needed to serve the proposed use meeting with the requirements of the Department of Water Supply. We'd suggest that number 1 read instead, comply with the requirements of the Department of Water Supply and use county water to serve the proposed use. We're not sure exactly what DWS is going to require for potable water here. It could be the existing meter, it could be a separate meter. So we'd like to be able to comply with whatever DWS suggests or requires. The rest of the condition would remain as originally stated. And should you have any questions, we're here to answer, but we do note there is public support for this and no public opposition. We think it's fairly clear cut, straightforward. So appreciate your consideration.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the planning department staff or applicant?
Just a clarification. So going back to the water issue, you're saying that you wanted to propose a change on the conditions for the water, put a portable tank.
Yes, so that was in the original condition that should we not be able to satisfy Department of Water Supply requirements and they're not able to provide metered water to the property, the applicant could then install a 10,000 gallon potable water tank that's sealed and separate from any catchment system that then is filled with trucked potable water.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So ever since we've had the property, and been running the establishment, our water usage has actually fallen below the 400 gallons per day usage requirement that the county has, because we use nothing but, water saving devices. And, so we're like well below like a 270 gallons a day if you look at our current water bill. So we are staying 100% below what they're actually requiring, and I think they actually bumped it up to about 800. So I don't see us ever going over that in the foreseeable future.
It is unlikely that the tank would be required, but we just like to have it in case. So the dwelling on the property is not used full time. It's only used off and on.
You only currently have 1 meter is what he's saying,
Yes.
right? And then it's underutilized already.
Yes.
Unless we take the house off the meter and supply it with catchment separately. So that this requested amendment would allow for that flexibility.
Okay, no, I understand it now. That's why I wasn't sure if if they have sufficient water, you know. I guess because it wasn't a requirement.
Mm.
So
It's-
thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you. It's kind of a long history. The previous special permit amendment, they stated, Department of Water Supplies stated that additional water was available and the applicant would, not this applicant, but the previous applicant would have provided an upgraded meter for whatever reason that never came to pass. So we're trying to reinstate that discussion and get it back up to speed.
Great, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions?
Sorry, so
Commissioner Deleuze?
his you're countering what was put into the recommendation, is that correct?
Yes.
I wouldn't say counter. He's wording it in a way that could work
Okay.
as far as water usage. The way that it was worded now, it was requiring them to install a larger meter. If that's not needed, this condition would be, it would be hard to fulfill this condition. The way it's worded now with the revision, he has the option to have possibly 2 meters or just a meter, but to meet with water supplies requirements. And we're okay with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Staff, are there any individuals wanting to testify in this matter at this moment in time?
Yes, Chair, we have two individuals who would like to testify on this agenda item. The first testifier is James Morgan, to be followed by Sarah Parmitter. Please come to the testifier table so that you both may be sworn in. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before the Windward Planning Commission today?
Yes.
Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes to testify, and I will let you know when you have 30 seconds left. Please state your name and the town you reside in, and then you may begin.
James Morgan, Mountain View. I'm here to testify in support of Wyatt's Place as a restaurant. Its location between Curtistown and Mountain View is a valuable resource for the community, as well as tourism that travels through to get to Volcanoes National Park generally. And it's a good location for perpetuating local economy and another place to stop, as Mountain View, that Curtistown area is somewhat underserved in general. So that's pretty much short of it. Thank you.
I'm Sarah Parmeter, and I live in Mountain View as well. And I also just wanted to testify that I think having options in our community is great. We have so many huge subdivisions and so many people in the area, and there's really nothing around, and having like good food and jobs for people and just more options in the area is like really valued by everybody there. So just wanted to add that in there as well.
Great, thank you.
Chair, we don't have any other in-person testifiers for this item.
Okay, do we have anyone on Zoom, Alex?
Not for this item. No.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
Chair.
Yes.
I would just like to add, I think a lot of people, especially on this side of the island, are very familiar with this restaurant, cafe. I can't recall what it was called before,
Dimple Cheek.
even before that.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Called
like,
Cafe when it was Mr. DeLuse's family.
yeah. I lived up there 20 years ago and I used to go there when the Duluth owned it. But yeah, it was much needed. There's very few options in the area. Everyone's familiar with Jarano's chili, but this is a nice option besides that, but sure.
So when we started this place, it never was meant to be a sandwich shop. We always thought we were going to be an Italian restaurant. The main goal I've always had of the restaurant is to keep everything in an affordable price range menu to serve the local community as opposed to the tourists. I pay better than any restaurant in town. I am the only restaurant in town that offers full-time employment and full coverage health benefits. This has just been a long uphill battle for us to get it legal, but we've tried to go through every hoop that you guys have put in front of us to make sure that we, accommodate the county's, needs and also the needs of the community. So I just really hope that this can happen because it's needed up there 100%.
And if I may, one more thing. Mark Singletary's wife and infant son are here today. You may have heard him earlier. He is the namesake of the restaurant. This application, this permit would be basically for his future.
Great, thank you. Okay, if we have no other questions, let's see, we'll have a motion for action. Is there a motion?
I move that the applicant for special permit docket number PLS PP 2024-000076 and that the motion to amend SPP 625 be approved based on the planning director's recommendation, which shall be adopted.
We,
I'll second.
Okay, so we'll add to my motion, the amended correspondence. Condition six concerning the water issue.
okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Okay, so it was moved by Commissioner Deleuze and seconded by Commissioner Perrin. Discussion or comments?
I just wanted to say to the new establishment that's taken over the old Dimple Cheek.
Mm-hmm. Dimple cheeks.
Yes. I just want to say thank you for doing what you're doing. We definitely do need more options and it would make a great stopping point on the way to Volcano National Park and basically just enjoy that side of the island. I'm right around the corner. I'm not far from there, so I'm very familiar with the area. It's got a very beautiful locale and I look forward to seeing it prosper. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Also, I'd like to make a note that Cody Friends has left and Susanna Tiapula has rejoined us. Thank you. Okay, staff, can we take a roll call, please?
Yes. Okay. Commissioner Deleuze,
Yes, sorry.
Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes with 4 votes.
Thank you. You will be notified of the commission's decision in writing. The best of luck. Best of luck to you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 2. Applicant Tempe Mountain LLC, PL-SPP-2024-000075. Application for special permit to allow an annual multi-day festival with overnight camping for up to 500 attendees and to legitimize the storage of commercial vehicles on a 14.7 acre portion of a larger 1,419.17 acre property in Indian Tree Road, approximately 0.7 miles west, whoops. Property in the State Land Use Agricultural District. The subject property is located at 27-476 Indian Tree Road, approximately 0.7 miles west, Malka, of intersection with Hawaii Belt Road, Alamai to Kauai Nui, Papaiko, South Hilo, Hawaii, TMK 32-7-007, parcel 1. Before we start, I'd like to explain how we will proceed with this agenda item. First, we'll hear public testimony on the application. Then we'll ask the petitioner to explain how they believe they meet the criteria to have standing. After the applicant and planning director will have the opportunity to state any objections. Once those steps are complete, the commission will decide whether to grant standing. If standing is denied, the commission will determine whether to hear this agenda item today or at a future meeting, at which point the public will be able to testify on the project if they have not done so earlier today. If standing is granted, the agenda item will be postponed to allow time for mediation between the parties. If they reach an agreement, the permit application will return to the commission for decision, and the public will have an opportunity to testify at that time. If no agreement is reached, a contested case hearing will take place. This is a trial-like process overseen by a hearing officer who will review the case and provide a recommendation to the commission based on the information presented and the arguments made by the parties. Once the recommendation is presented, the public will again have a chance to testify before the commission makes a final decision. Before we proceed, do any of the commissioners have any questions about this process? Okay, seeing no question, we will go on to public testimony. Is there anyone in the audience in person to testify on this agenda item?
Chair, we have 14 individuals signed up to testify on this item.
Okay,
The first is Maya Munoz Luz, to be followed by Ben Mead. If you could come to the front testifier table, I can swear you in to testify. Please turn on your microphones. There's a green dot you can hit. It's on the bottom. Yeah, there you go. Great. Please raise your right hand. Hit it again. There you go. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth now before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes.
Great, thank you. You'll have 3 minutes to testify. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left. And please state your name, the town you reside in, and you may begin.
My name is Maya Po'akahi Munoz Luz, and I reside in Papaiko. So I am originally from Oahu. I moved here about 8 years ago with my family, and one thing that attracted us to this parcel was that it was on a private road. We're on the corner of Indian Tree Road on both sides of our property. And right next to it is Mr. Tepper's land. My family and I just want to reside peacefully and quietly on a private road, and private, as defined by the dictionary, is belonging to or for the use of a particular person or a group of people. There's only 8 parcels on Indian Tree Road, and I own 2 of those with my husband. During the first event, someone did trespass on my husband and mine's land. I did want to mention a few things. I did submit a letter to the county, so I'm not gonna, read that letter. I have it right here, but I'm not gonna read it all. I just want to mention a few things. First of all, I'm unaware of really any time that there's been improvements made by Mr. Teppers on the road. I know that he did respond to the planning department, to mine and my husband's letters. There was a hui that the neighborhood did on November 6, 2024, where we did attempt to fix some potholes on the road. However, another neighbor interfered, and so improvements weren't really able to be made. And since then, the rain has pretty much washed away any of the gravel that filled those potholes. With this festival, he wants to have 500 guests. I was told by someone that there were already 500 guests this last year in 2024. There were supposedly 200, the first year supposedly 100, but I don't think that this 500 guest count is including volunteers and workers, so there will be more traffic on that road than just the 500 guests. Burning Man, I've looked this up on the internet. Burning Man started in 1986 as a small gathering in San Francisco. In 1989, there were 300 guests. By 93, there was 1,000, 95, 4,000, 97, 10,000. In 2000, there were 25,000. And last I checked, in about 2023, there were about 70,000 people. And obviously when Burning Man started, this was kind of before the internet, was in everyone's pockets. Now it is. So my concern is that this can grow very quickly, and it's a private road. There's very few people who live on that road. I have 3 children. I have animals. I'm concerned about my personal property and the safety of my personal property, the safety of my children. If the special use permit is granted, then I would like to see some insurance policies put in place by Mr. Teppers for fires, accidental damage, theft, even maybe death. I want to make sure that my personal property and my family is protected.
You have 30 seconds
I would
left.
like to see a larger water catchment tank. We have a 10,000 gallon water catchment tank. There's only a 3,000 gallon tank up there from what I read on Mr. Tepper's letter. I want to see higher security. I believe he should be responsible for paving the whole road, for putting signage, speed bumps, and for maintaining the road. And this should all be Mr. Tepper's as, a good neighbor. I believe that this is his responsibility since he wants to take away the privacy from our road.
Ben, you can go ahead and start. Can you please turn on your microphone? Yeah, thank you.
Could we start again?
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Ben Mead. I am 40-year resident of Hawaii Island, and I am probably the closest neighbor to this activity in Papakau. I live as a crow flies within that 500-foot offset. I was here for the 2004 event, and I would like to say that I am violently opposed to this. I would like to point out to the commissions that by the Hawaii Revised Statutes 2004, 205-4.1 permissible uses within agricultural districts does not list the type of activity. I would also say that this is a guideline for community and community approved activity on these lands, which is promoted for sustainable agriculture. I would also like to point out that the Community Wildfire Protection Plan for Hamakua, Hawaii Island, 2024, gives Papakau, this area, which is, I've heard a lot of people say that this is a rainforest. I live 500 feet away from this. I do not live in a rainforest. This is grassland, cows, cattle, farming activities. This is not a rainforest. There is no suppression by just being a very humid area. Community Wildfire Protection Plan says that even with relatively high rainfall, areas of high human activity within Hamakua may become repeat ignition spots, especially during dry periods. They talk about notable fires. They give Papakau
Can you please speak closer to the mic?
okay, I'm sorry. They give Papakau for subdivision risk a moderate to high and vegetation moderate as a risk of wildfires. I would also like to point out that the Hawaii Invasive Species Council lists invasive grasses in Hawaii and their impacts. Starts out the frequency of wildfires in Hawaiian Islands has increased by 400% over the last century. The introduction and unmanaged growth of non-native grasses have contributed to the fire frequency. This area has been inundated by both California grass and Guinea grass. Which are listed with this Hawaiian Invasive Species Council as being of a high risk. It says the species is likely a high fire risk in Hawaii. It also lists for Guinea grass. This is likely a high fire.
You have 30 seconds left.
Okay. I would also like to address the issue of noise in this area. Like I say, I live right across the river from them, and the noise was unbearable. Somebody said that they could barely hear it. Well, maybe they needed to come to my house because it was very plain. And it's not just loud music. This is that boom, boom, boom kind of stuff that you cannot, it comes up through the floor of your house, and it gave my animals anxiety, and it caused big disruption in my life. And I would like to point out that the packing list for Tepe Mountains for this event says, recommends people bring earplugs, one for music and one for sleeping.
Your 3 minutes are finished. Thank you for your testimony.
Okay.
The next testifier is Mel Kawahara, to be followed by Vito Goncalves Luz Filo. I apologize if I mispronounced your name. Beto? Oh, thank you. Please hit the green dot to turn on your microphone and raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before the Windward Planning Commission today?
Yes.
Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left.
Could you please turn on your microphone, sir? There you go. You got it. You got it.
I've already submitted testimony, so I'm not gonna repeat that. So my only
Can
thing
you-
is I wasn't even
Sir,
interested.
Can you please state your name and the town you reside in?
First time testifying.
That's okay. Yeah.
No. Mel Kawahara, I have a property that is adjoining Mr. Tepper's property. And I submitted my report outlining some of my concerns, one of which was that my property was included within his acreage, and that is incorrect. So I wanted that corrected. Basically, everybody said basically stuff that I haven't covered, but I covered a lot. I just wanted to also make you know that Mr. Tepper actually contacted me by phone. I have no idea how, but he wanted to know what my primary concerns were, and I said they're all. And then he said, "What's your top?" So I kind of picked one, and the biggest one for me when I talked to him was the liability. I told him I want -5 liability on everything. And that included fire, damage, any suits. And he told me he checked some insurance guys and it was $1 million. Well, there's 25, 30 houses in the Papaico, Kalawa, Indian Chi Road area. Each house is $1 million. That's 25 million right there. And that's just the house. So I think insurance, if this is granted, and my letter says, if it's granted, is I would like those kinds of assurances. Thank you.
My name is Francisco Roberto Gonçalves Luz Filho. People call me Beto Luz. And I have one question before my time started. I have 3 minutes only for one case or because he has 2 petitions. Is my 3 minutes only for one?
You have 3 minutes per item. There's one item.
Okay, all right. So my wife talked more about the party, and I think about the party for me is like the say private, the substance. He said don't see too many alcohol, but we know that parties go and we scare because the second time I see people go and back and the party and my kids play around and I see the risk, somebody has some different substance and crash my kids, is what happened. Trespassing, the smoky, the sound, the security. But for me, it's more my time here I use for more about the trucks, because my first 3, almost 4 years, I'm living over there. I have that situation because the neighbor used that place for storage base yard, and I have a hard time. I know about his can do that, and I never call the city. I try talk the personal. I love the guys. I respect the local guys. No problem. But I'm dad. I'm husband. We have a homeschool over there, and I can't sleep. They wake me every day. Because the activity start 5 in the mornings because the guy need picks material back. We in the hill, we can hear the truck from the bottom. It's loud and shaky all the house. And it's hard. It's because like my wife say, we have the private place. We pay high taxi. I understand his job. This is why I never called the first 3 years because I respect him. He work. I try talk personal. We try fix it, but the last 3 years, the other neighbor called the city, complain, and they take the truck. And I talk from my heart that my last 4 years in my property is one of my best. Take off my first neighbor is the creepy guy, but and the top, I have my best time over there because nobody waking me up. Like this is like as my right. Like sleep awake the time I want. And it's hard. It's hard. I'm almost sell my farm for half of the price in that time, because all that pressure and somebody come and say, please don't sell for under 2 million, like your uncle say, 3 million properties over there,
You have
There's too
30
much
seconds
involved.
left.
Thank you. Is Paul or third second?
30.
We the guys have the ladder, and we have personal for say, please think about that because it's too much things involved. In my house is the one more close to the gates about the trucks. All the trucks stop over there for open the gate, and there's the valley and they come inside my property, the sound, and it's hard, because we live like in a private place and we pay high taxi and we try doing everything good. And, I try to respect the other people too, but look, sometimes the people think only about yourself and don't see the other points too, and
Your 3 minutes are finished. Thank you for your testimony.
Uh-huh.
The next testifiers are Lee Chun Huang and Jim McMahon. Jim, please turn on the microphone by hitting the button. There you go. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before the Windward Planning Commission today?
I do.
Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining. Please state your name, the town you reside in, and you may begin.
My name is Li Chun Huang. I'm in Papaico, and I'm a cacao farmer. And you see, I love Hawaiian cacao. On my farm, every cacao pods are different. Some big, some small, some smooth, some rough. They come in yellow, bright orange, or even rainbow colors. We cacao farmers have a dream. We want this place to be the Napa Valley of chocolate, with beautiful orchards, farm tours, chocolate shop, or maybe even some farm stays. But that dream is at risk. The proposed heavy equipment rental operation, well, billed as storage, but in fact, it is a rental operation site, will use Indian Tree Road, the farm track, through my farm. That means huge trucks hauling oversized equipment, dump truck carrying gravel and log machine rumbling through our orchards all day long. Imagine the diesel smoke, the noise, the ground shaking. Would you visit a farm like that? Neither would tourists. This is not a place for industrial use. And our road, and many others here, are private easement. There's no HOA, no maintenance plan, and the road is already falling apart from traffic. And so the county should not allow more use without checking the easement rules and getting approval from landowners who will bear the cost. This proposal does not fit our agriculture community. It does not belong here. Please reject it as it is now. Thank you very much.
Jim, you can go ahead and start.
My name is Jim McMahon. I live along Indian Tree Road along with my wife, who you just met. We live on and operate the farm that's there. Our farm is bisected by a private road easement providing the primary access to the subject property. We are here today to state the proposed uses for the subject property will have a significant negative impact on our farming operations and our quality of life. When we consulted an attorney on this matter, an attorney with experience in dealing with such applications before the county, we were told not to worry. There's no way that Jeff, referring to Planning Director Darrow, would approve such an application. And I shared the same assessment based on my detailed review of the HRS rules, the county code, the special permit procedures, reviewing all the special permit applications made in the last 50 years, the county general plan, as well as the Hamakua Community Development Plan. And it turns out we were both wrong. The role of the planning consultants who have been hired to represent applicant to do this and to say what it gets to get this plan approved, we depend on the planning department to challenge the claims made in the application as to the accuracy and the completeness while acting in the best interest of our community. The fact that this application was even accepted by a director with obvious defects and omissions of important details is especially concerning to us. Also concerning is the planning director's decision to recommend approval of this application. First, there is the combining of two unrelated special uses in a single application. The Falls on Fire Burning Man themed annual event and the daily use as a heavy equipment base yard. The failure to abide by the special permit applications procedures, the carryover of this application defects and the letters sent to the public agencies for review and the background report, and ending with the questionable justifications based on the general and the Hamakua development plan. There are a growing number of unpermitted activities increasingly burning our agricultural zone lands in our area, such as event centers, retreat centers, communes, you name it. The planning department will appear to be ill-equipped to deal with these, including the applicant who went ahead last year in defiance of several cease and desist letters from the county. We hope that the applicant, if awarded this permit, will abide. Do we have any hope that the applicant in this case will even abide by the conditions? I mean, it's highly questionable. There are already a growing number of, I have provided a detailed 15-page written testimony, which I'd like to encourage everyone to read. It was delivered
You have
late
30 seconds left.
because it was, there was some error in getting it into the appropriate folder. It addresses the rules and procedures we believe have been violated, and it lists a total of 13 grounds for rejecting this application. I would like to personally thank the Planning Commission for their service and for your understanding as to the reasons why we're left with no other choice but to petition for standing in a contested hearing on this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair, your next testifier is the applicant, Andrew Tepper. I'm not sure if you want him to testify now or.
Yeah, I think once we have the petition
Okay.
up, he can testify at that point in time. So we'll just keep going with.
So we're just taking public testimony
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, the next public testifier is Gina Chen. And after that, John Mercado. Please come up to the testifier table so that I could swear you in. Gina, please turn on your microphone by hitting the green dot. Thank you.
Hello.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth now before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left. Please state your name and the town you reside in, and you may begin.
Okay, my name is Gina Chen. I live in Kona. I help organize the event itself. When we first started, we thought it was going to be just a small thing, then did not realize there's a huge community that wants to come together and make this event happen. Um, I was very surprised and overwhelmed how many people want to come and just contribute their gift, their talent, their just what they love to people in this community. And they respect the land. And I have learned so much about the Hawaiian community through Falls and Fire and have met so many amazing people. And we respect the land. The owner doesn't want to do any other things other than enjoying the waterfall, build a house, and creating a space for community to gather. And I have heard so many positive comments from people telling me how positively impactful this event had bring them, and it's very valuable. And I am also concerned about, how this event impacts the land. And I do concern about how it impacts a neighbor. And I do want to work with that because this is a very valuable thing for the community. And I think um, it would be great to be supported for it to happen. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. John, you can go ahead and start.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Mercado. I was born and raised here in Hawaii. Moved here to the Big Island in 1983, and I've seen a lot of change in this town. I oppose of this Burning Man thing. I am with the Lutz family. I reside on the Aina over there. I was also there to, to listen to this thing, this event went on. And it was banging, booming to like 3, 4 in the morning. It's like, what is really going on? Where is the peace and love and the serenity? We live in Hawaii now. We're supposed to have, enjoy the elements. We come from a special place. We need to keep it with our cause, all I know is these trucks going up and down. I'm with I'm very blessed because I cannot afford for buy land. This family offering me for stay on the Aina just by work off to stay there. I clean whatever they ask me for do, and I appreciate that because I cannot purchase land, because of the price. Most of us Hawaiians is being moved out. My mom is born and raised here, Moko Keape, from Huloloa, Marianne Pe'ahe. And I cannot deal with more of this, people disrespecting our Aina. And if these fires ever to take place, where the fireman gonna be? They gotta at least have firemen there. This is not, how can you just go make fire? You're supposed to have a permit. You see already what happened with the thing in Honolulu with the fireworks. Who knows if this guy's gonna bring fireworks over there, when they start drinking and whatnot. And I'm really concerned,
You have 30 seconds left.
I just really want you guys to just think about it and please, respect the Aina. That's all.
Thank you for your testimony. The next testifier is Kaleo Olival, to be followed by Harry Holm. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before the Windward Planning Commission today?
I
Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining. Please state your name, the town you reside in, and you may begin.
So my name is Khalil Olival. I'm born and raised in Waipio Valley, lived here my whole life. Aloha Chair, Commissioners, and community members. I'm here today to express my strong support for Falls on Fire. Falls on Fire begins with a pule, a Hawaiian prayer, setting the tone for a gathering rooted in respect for the land, the water, and each other. Throughout the event, Hawaiian values like Malama Aina, Kuleana, and Laulima are not just spoken about, they are lived. The entire gathering is based around working with our hands, contributing to the space, and fostering a sense of responsibility towards our island home. This event is all about community. It's all about local people getting together, trading their skills, trading their values, trading their cultural experience. People are connecting. It's free. Everyone's working together. It's a beautiful event. From an economic perspective, Falls on Fire is unique in that no money is exchanged at the event itself. None at all. It's all about music, food, art, and free skills transferred between people. I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. It felt like it was what Indigenous people must have experienced back in the day. It was a very healing thing to not have to worry about money and taxes and the cost of things and how much you were going to get out of something. We were just there to experience each other, and we were sharing love and aloha with each other. And I think that that's beautiful for anyone who's involved with it, and it's hard to come by today. Environmentally, this event is a model for responsible land stewardship. Unlike many large gatherings, Falls on Fires prioritizes sustainability at every level. Responsible water use, composting, native planting, and regenerative building practices are all integral parts of the experience. The property owner is an incredible conservationist himself, who has dedicated time and energy and resources to clearing his invasive species on his land and revitalizing native species. I've worked for him personally doing all of this stuff. So we're getting rid of the invasive vivee and we're restoring the watershed. It's a beautiful thing, and it's supporting the island and keeping it wet instead of all the water getting sucked away. Additionally, attendees participate in educational discussions about conservation and sustainability, leaving with a deeper appreciation for our natural resources and a commitment to preserving them. We're always talking about the environment during this event. Socially, Falls on Fire provides a rare and valuable opportunity for people from all walks of life to come together in a positive, uplifting environment. It's a place where you can build relationships that strengthen the community. And on a personal level, my experience at Falls on Fire was profoundly meaningful. It strengthened my connection to the land, even my relationship with people in my community, and had an incredibly positive impact on my mental health. In a world where we're isolated by our phones and our devices and our jobs, it was an experience where we all put those devices down and came together and connected. And I think that all of you should come and see this if you get the chance one day, because it's beautiful. It really is. You get to take a step away from everything else. I hope that this event can continue, and this event fosters respect for the land. It supports local relationships. It does everything that I think a good event should do. So I urge you to recognize the immense positive impact of this gathering and allow it to continue. Mahalo for your time and your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
Aloha, Chairperson and members of the Windward Planning Commission. My name is Harry Holm. I'm from Papaico, actually live on Indian Tree Road. I'm here today to testify in strong support of the special permit for the annual festival and limited commercial vehicle storage at the property. The festival provides a unique opportunity for our community. On the other districts like Puna and Honoka'a, they have been able to enjoy, festivals where there's nothing like it in the area around Papaico. Approving this permit would allow North Hilo to host a well-organized, positive event that benefits both residents and visitors. Some of the facts: last year's festival had no major issues, demonstrating that the event was well-run and respectful of community. The festival location, tucked away in the back of the property, surrounded by agricultural land, really minimizes the disruption to neighbors. It's not an event that happens every month or every week. It's just once a year. The few commercial vehicles on site directly support the property, and agricultural operation, including a cattle ranch, and would occupy an extremely small footprint of just 0.003% of the property. And I should note that it is true that years ago, he did start early in the morning at 5, but because of what neighbors were saying, he actually changed and he started, a little after 7 in the morning. Second, around 10% of the last year's attendees were from off island. So that actually brings outside dollars into our community. Finally, this is more about than just economics. It's about community. The event helps build and reinforces a Kama'aina-centered gathering space, which is really, really important. One celebrates music, art, and culture while fostering a deeper connection with residents and with the land. With proper regulation and oversight, this event will continue to respect the land, honor local values, provide a safe, inclusive space for all attendees. For these reasons, I would urge you to approve the special permit and allow this event to continue growing as a positive force in Papaico and the greater Hilo area. Mahalo for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your testimony.
Mahalo.
The next testifier is Roger Uchima, to be followed by Evan Rock. Please hit the green dot to turn on your microphone. Thank you. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth now before the Windward Planning Commission? Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left. Please state your name, the town you reside in, and you may begin. And Roger, you can go ahead and start. Your microphone's on.
Hi, my name is Roger Uchima. I reside in Honolulu. I'm born and raised in Honolulu. I'm the sole proprietor of the ranch, Indian Tree Ranch. It consists of 2,500 acres, around a 600 head cow-calf operation, considering an intensive grazing operation, yeah. And I also own the trucking company that been brought up here. I've already moved my trucking. It's not a base yard and it's not a rental company. It's been changed to separate my two entities as a ranch and as my equipment and truck. So that's why it's a rental. It's like they rent me with my equipment to do certain work. But as far as that, I have no problem. I mean, if you guys don't consider the trucks, whatever, it can be taken out. But I'm here on behalf of Tepe Mountain, their event that they have. I've been around it since they had the last 2 events because I'm up there every day. And I didn't see any impact on the roads. No impact. It was really well organized. And I drive up and down those roads every day. Didn't see, there was no rubbish there where the event was. It was in fact cleaner and nicer than when they first started. And they've been maintaining it since. And I do my part to help them maintain that area. And the thing that amazed me I mean, being a local boy born and raised here, it was a whole different community for me. These people that came up for this event, and the people are super nice. I mean, I met a lot of people through this event that, we've been kind of in contact a little bit, and it's just different. I mean, I like to see this expand and, work out for their community that, this event that they're trying to keep going. Yeah. And I just want to show them, let you guys know that I'm in support of that and hope you guys show your support yourselves. Thank you.
Evan, you can go ahead and start. Please turn on your microphone. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? So, much respect for all my neighbors, everyone who's spoken.
Please state your name and the.
Yeah,
town you're
my
from.
name's Evan Rock. I've been on Indian Tree Road since 2013, probably the longest resident and owner directly on the path going up to the ranch. And over the years, I've seen a lot of things, but one thing that's been consistent is this guy. I mean, he's the salt of the earth. He's helped me build both my house pads. He's, through and through Hawaiian and just been very generous and helpful for me, always fixing the road. In fact, he's brought his equipment to fix the road on multiple occasions, his own material. So just want to state that about Roger. And I've even asked him, can I rent your equipment? He said no. He doesn't rent his equipment. So when the ranch sold 1,400 acres, I was extremely happy being directly adjacent to the ranch. I've owned two different properties on Indian Tree, but right now I'm directly adjacent. And I was so happy that Andrew Tepper purchased it because it's being next to a 1,400 acre cattle ranch is amazing. There's not a subdivision behind you. It's really a slice of paradise. The cows come through once in a while, and that's part of our lifestyle, and we appreciate that. Part of him buying this land was to hold this event, and if it means preserving a huge swath of Ina, I'm totally in favor of it. Everyone's been polite with me that I've interacted with that has been on the way to the party. Lots of shakas and aloha. A ton of respect for Beto and Maya. They've been really great neighbors over the years. And, I think there's ways in which we can all work together and come together as a community. We've wanted to fix the road, and we've been interrupted by Jim, who you heard earlier today, who's, been combative with pretty much everyone on the road in our efforts to maintain the road. We have potholes that he's stood in and prevented us from filling. So, respect to Jim. I try to treat him well, and I don't want to have any issues with my neighbors, to be honest. I just want to come and go in peace. And I don't foresee this event as being something that will impact the area in a big way. I'm not overly concerned about fires. I'm not overly concerned about noise. I was, like I said, adjacent to the ranch, and I could hear the music in the distance, put in some earplugs for, a few days out of the year. It's not a big deal. It's worth it to preserve this land, which I think is that's the goal of the new owner and the guy who's been here the longest. And that's basically all I have to say. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair, your last testifier in person is Martin Orlando. Martin, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before the Windward Planning Commission?
I do.
Thank you. You'll have 3 minutes. I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining. Please state your name, the town you reside in, and you may begin.
Thank you. My name is Martin P. Orlando. I reside in Kailua, Kona. Thank you everyone for taking time to attend this meeting. I am an employee of the Hawaii State Judiciary working at the Keihuolu Courthouse. I attended this event this past November and found it to be very fulfilling and reassuring in the inherent and often misunderstood good nature of people. There's a very prominent feeling of community and helping one another. I personally experienced a public breakdown in front of many people I did not know previously, and this acceptance of this is something that you don't get in our world today. And that I was able to experience this is a moment in my life that I'm like, wow, that I got to do that is just something that I'm just so thankful for. I am a single father of 2 teenagers who were both born and raised on this island. And I cannot just jet off to the mainland. I have 2 children I need to take care of. I don't have a lot of space for leaving my children, and that I'm able to do this locally on the island is something that I feel should be supported. And I do feel finding a solution that appeases all parties is important. And I want to encourage everyone to look at this with an open heart and an attitude of coming to a compromise. And I do feel that finding this compromise is important for our island. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Chair, there are no more in-person testifiers on this item.
Great. Thank you for all the in-person testifiers today. Staff, is there any individuals joining us via Zoom to provide testimony on this agenda item?
Chair, yes, we have 3 individuals.
Okay.
The first is Hannah Soroka. Please turn on your microphone and camera so I can swear you in. Hannah? Hannah, can you turn on your microphone and camera, please? Okay, moving on. Next is Braden Smith. Oh, there's Hannah. Okay. Hannah, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission? Hannah, you're muted. Please unmute. We still can't hear you. You're still muted. Yeah. Chair, would you want me to move on to the next one while she figures out her?
Yeah, let's move on and we can come back.
Okay. All right,
Okay, thank
Hannah. The next testifier is Braden Smith. Please turn on your camera and microphone. Braden Smith.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes.
Okay, you'll have 3 minutes and I'll let you know when 30 seconds remain. Please begin, state your name and where you reside.
My name is Braden Smith. I'm a farmer in Honau now. I've been farming here for about 10 years. I just wanted to testify to say how much I think this could be used as an opportunity to the community. I think that the ag land that they have there actually serves as a beautiful jumping point to allow, first off, most of the people that come to this event, they are local people within our community. And with that said, it does bring a small percentage. I think previous guy said about 10%. That does help boost the economy. But I see it as a jump off point where it is a special piece of property. It borders like this. I can't even remember the numbers, but it borders a massive piece of property that has water flowing through it. It's important to protect that. And having that piece that Andrew Tepper has serve as a place where the community can gather and share their art and share their music and share their talents and share their gifts. In exchange, they can get their hands into the land. They can actually directly benefit the INA and access that greater piece through that jump off point. And I understand things can be like kind of scary at first when we don't understand them, but I would challenge anyone in opposition to actually go to the event, decide what they would like to teach this community, and find that this community is going to have an open heart and receive anything that they want to say to them. Like, they're invited to join. And you know, I got to go the last 2 years, and I can say that there's just nothing on this island quite like it. And I think it's a very beautiful thing. You know, you have 500 people that aren't as blessed to have, you know, everyday access to a land like that, that do live in Hawaii and get to come here and get to actually see, you know, like actually get their hands dirty removing invasive species. I watched a whole entire, you know, train of people, like 20 people long, from the river up to the trailhead, just passing invasive material out, opening those waterways, just letting that water flow. And like, they're proud of that. They get a, you know, share in that, partake in that with everyone. And yeah, I just think that that opportunity to open something like that up to the community should not be squandered because we don't understand it or because we're scared of it. And that's pretty much what I have to say. And I would just challenge anyone to show up and see what it's about, and offer something, offer their 2 cents on how to malama the Aina and how to,
30 seconds.
what their opinions are. And you know, that's all the time I need today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. We'll try Hannah. Hannah Soroka, can you turn your video on in your microphone? You're still muted, unfortunately. Chair? Do you want to move on? We have
Let's,
one more.
yeah, let's move on to the next testifier, please.
Jason Hester. Jason, can you turn your camera on and your unmute your microphone? Yep, Jason. Okay, please raise your right hand.
Am I coming through?
Yep, we hear you. Please
Okay.
raise your right hand. Okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
I swear to tell the truth.
Okay, you'll have 3 minutes, and I'll let you know when 30 seconds remain. Please state your name and where you reside. You may begin.
Okay, hello, my name is Jason Hester. I reside in Pahoa, Hawaii. I come to you today to speak on support of this event and the event holder, Andrew Tepper, and Falls on Fire as an organization. I come to you with a unique history and experience with this type of regional gathering. I had the opportunity to first attend Burning Man in 2005 at the invitation of a friend of mine who told me it was unlike anything he had ever seen and experienced in his entire life. And I went and I showed up, and I, for the first time in a really long time, shed tears of joy because I felt like I had found people that got me, and that I belonged there, because they were nothing but open-hearted and creative, loving souls that welcomed me in. Following that 2005 national gathering, I went on with a group of other people here in Hawaii to create in 2006 a Burning Man regional with Kapalina nonprofit organization, and produce and promote a Burning Man regional in the district of Puna for 3 years successively. And it started off kind of small, like the Falls on Fire event, and within the third year, it grew to nearly 1,000 people. So I understand there's been some concerns here about growth, and you know, they're absolutely right. But the growth was, in my opinion and observation experience, sustainable. And the only reason why we stopped after 3 years is because there were similar permitting problems, such as we're discussing today. I considered that to be an incredible tragedy, not only for myself, but everybody that I saw come to that event and experience the transformative power of an open culture event that allowed everybody to come from all directions and bring whatever they had to offer, both culturally and creatively. Since then, we haven't had anything quite as progressive and positive here on the island that I have seen. I was very excited when I heard that there was going to be another Burning Man regional, and I asked to participate. And I asked more than just to participate as an attendee. I asked for an art grant from Andrew Tepper, and I was granted an art grant for the first time in a very long time. Somebody decided to consider my creative abilities and my artistic endeavors to be important. Andrew Tepper invested in some art, and he allowed me to create, and I had nothing but wonderful experience at that first event. I didn't come to this last event. I don't know what was happening there, but I do believe in terms of granting a special use permit, it is at very least worth considering or reconsidering in terms of growth and growing pains and the unique opportunity that this event and other events like it offer an otherwise, in my opinion, kind of stagnant area. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your testimony. Okay, Hannah, third time's a charm. Hannah, can we get you to turn your mic on and camera? Okay, I think technical difficulties, Chair. Oh, she just left the chat. So hold on a second. I'm trying to admit her in again. Just give me 2 seconds. Hannah, can you hear me? Okay,
Yes,
there you go.
hear me
There
now?
you go. We can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All
Sorry,
right.
thank you for your
Nope.
patience.
Real quick, just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you have 3 minutes and I'll let you know. Please give your name and where you're from. You may proceed.
Hi, I'm Hannah Soroka. I live in Hona now. I am also a farmer, and I've gone to Falls on Fire for the past 2 years, and it has been nothing but a lovely experience and really an opportunity for us, again, like maybe it's reiterating, but our hands are in the soil every day. That's part of the experience. It's led that way. And it's helped all of us and maybe people who are not farmers connect with the Aina in a really lovely way. I am associated with the sound system, and thank you everyone for being patient. It's something that we are willing to be open to negotiating what that looks like and means. But the truth of the matter is we have a really special tool that we're offering to the community, and I understand why it can seem intrusive, but the truth of the matter is actually a really beautiful tool, and it actually is very grounding. There's nothing negative about it, but I understand why it seems intrusive and how the sound can carry, but it is with love. We put a lot of time and effort into what we're trying to, as artists, giving to the community, and this property has allowed us to actually express ourselves in a way that is very unique and very unifying, and it is all with love. And again, as someone had said before, but please come to the event and let us we're open to it. We include you. We want you, your gifts as well. There's kind of this idea that we're all separated here, and honestly, we are all part of this. We're all part of the community. Most of us live here. We're not separated. We're not random people. We're not people trying to hurt anyone's children. That's completely the opposite of what we're standing for. And it is all with love. I won't take up much more time, but that is all I have to say. And thank you for everyone and your patience. And I hope we can work something out. Sending love to everyone. Aloha.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Chair, there are no more Zoom testifiers at this time.
Okay, thank you. No other in-person people? No. Okay, thank you testifiers for your testimony. And public testimony in this item is now closed. Okay, the first order of business regarding this agenda item is to determine whether to grant standing to the petitioner, James McHone and Lai Chung Hung. I hope I didn't butcher that. Rule 4-6A states in relevant part that any person seeking to intervene as a party shall file a written request on a form approved by the planning director, accompanied by a filing fee of $200 no later than 7 calendar days prior to the commission's first meeting on the matter. Staff, will you confirm that these conditions, these petitions were properly filed and the copies of the petitions were forwarded to the applicant in a timely manner?
Yes, Chair. The petition was received in a timely manner on January 29th, and it was provided to the applicant the next day. It was filed timely and accurately.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, please be reminded that our focus should be on why standing should or should not be granted on the merits of the application. Oh, not on the merits, sorry, excuse me, not on the merits of the application. Rule 4-6B also states in relevant part that if a timely request is filed, standing shall be granted if the following criteria can be met. A, their interest is their interest is clearly distinguishable from that of the general public, or government agencies whose jurisdiction include the land involved in the subject request, or that they have some property interest in the land or lawfully reside on the land, or that even though they do not have an interest different than the public generally, that the proposed action will cause them actual or threatened injury in fact, or persons who are descendants of Native Hawaiians who inhabited the Hawaiian island prior to 1778, who practice those rights, which are commonly and traditionally exercised for substance, cultural, and religious purposes. Okay, petitioners. If the petitioners would come up in their representative, if any, to the table.
We're representing ourselves.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we're gonna swear them in. Oh, okay, you guys are already sworn. Okay. Remind them the focus. Okay. The focus should be on why standing should or should not be granted, not necessarily the merits of the application, which will be addressed after the issue of standing is resolved. Okay, please, okay, you've already done that. Have the petitioner explain why they should be granted standing according to the criteria in Rule 4-6B. They marked A on the petition, criterion A on the petition, indicating their interest is clearly distinguishable from the general public. Okay, we are going to let you speak to that at this moment in time.
All right, I'm going to be a little technical here because unfortunately the application that was filed.
Please speak into the mic, and you can pull that up closer to you.
Okay. All right, my name is Jim McMahon. I'm along with my wife, Li Jing Wong, are the petitioners here for quest for standing in this contested case hearing. The issue is really we're own property along that road. We believe that the greatest impacts by this event and the heavy equipment base yard, which we're calling it, is going to be traffic. There are other impacts that people have talked about, and I agree with most of those as well. We're also equally impacted by them as well. The reason why I had to go into so much detail with my petition is simply because the applicant has failed to provide a clear plan as to how they're going to access their property. They provided an easement document that was incorrect. They didn't provide a map or anything else that was accurate to describe the access that was going to be used to the property from the public road. So I have actually had to basically parse out in great detail exactly how we're impacted simply because we're on the road. There's two things on that. We have approximately 1,400 feet of road that is within the bounds of our property. Of course, we have interested there. Our house, for example, is set back only 30 feet from that road, which is a setback minimum. So we're, obviously going to be impacted by the traffic. And based on our experience from the previous 2 years of the event, we've had basically a front row seat in exactly what took place. The traffic that was pretty much continuous 24 hours. A number of other incidents that I've mentioned in both my testimony and in my petition as well. I don't want to go into the merits of the case as we mentioned. I just want to prove the fact that we are distinguishable from the general public, being so close and actually owning the land upon which the road, which is going to be the primary access point for this property and its activities, is going to be used. We also have an interest in our neighbor's property because we are a dominant estate. This road, Indian Tree Road, actually crosses several properties, at least 3, between the public road and the subject property. We are kind of in the middle, so we depend on the property below us for access. And of course, we're a dominant estate. They're the servient estate. But we're all the road users are collectively responsible for in maintaining that road. We're therefore all have a vested interest in making sure that road is properly maintained and managed. So that is a key point as well. In addition to the road itself, we also have utilities that pass under our the other property. Those utilities are because of the state of the road, are not well protected. They're buried utilities along the edge of the road, and there's always been a threat of damage because of the heavy vehicles, especially for the heavy equipment base yard. That eventually the road will get damaged, or the utilities will get damaged, and that will, of course, severely impact our quality of life. So that is basically, I believe I've covered all the main points, and I think I'll leave it at that for justification as to the distinguishability of our interests against the general public. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
Question.
Yes.
So the road in question, you share that road along with the proposed access for Tepe Mountain as well?
Yes, we do.
Do the other,
Yes, also with a number of our neighbors who have already testified.
and you folks all take responsibility as far as taking care of that road.
We're supposed to, according to the deeded documents. However, it's been, because there's no HOA in play here, there's no body and there's no there's no like a road maintenance agreement or anything like that. So getting everyone to agree on exactly what the road needs and how it should be done is a challenge.
Oh, okay. So were you not a part of the Hui?
No, I was not part of the Hui because I disagreed with what was taking place. I mean, I can go into details as to why, again, I had initially, when we first arrived there, I created a Hui initially, and I did get quotes for making what I felt was needed repairs on a section of road. But I failed to get a quorum basically to make that happen. This would have been involved properly reconstructing the road, at least of just a small section of it. It was fairly expensive because we would have to strip the pavement and we'd have to resurface it. The existing maintenance that we have today has been very minimal, and it's actually have a negative impact on our property because it was simply, you're taking a paved road and you're filling the potholes with gravel. That gravel doesn't stay very long. It makes the road very noisy, and we also have a lot of dust that's created by that. Originally the road used to be paved or mostly paved, it still is, but it's in a deteriorating condition over many of the sections. And I've talked at length with the applicant, Mr. Andrew Tepper, about some of the ideas that we have to improve that road. But I think we need an opportunity through the contested case hearing to get those concerns, at least through mediation, and get some sort of agreement in place if we're going to allow anything like what's being proposed to occur.
So are you saying that the individual with the heavy equipment did not come down that private lane and help try and mitigate the situation until whatever it is you proposed?
Sorry, say again?
I said, are you saying that the individual with the heavy equipment did not come down your road to mitigate the situation until your proposed plan could be presented to everyone and agreed upon?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. You're talking about the heavy equipment base yard operator or the Mr. Tepper?
I'm
The
gonna go
applicant.
ahead and hold my comment on that one.
You're going to pull your comment? Okay, thanks.
Can I make a motion to move into executive session?
Can I have a second on that? Second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, we're gonna go into executive session, so I'm gonna have to ask everyone to leave the room, please. Executive session takes place when we have legal questions, which we did. And now we're back. Petitioners, you folks can go take a seat back in the audience, and I'd like to call the applicant up and or his representatives. Okay. Okay. Also, we did have legal questions that we consulted with Corporation Counsel that were answered. I want to put that on the record. Thank you. We're going to swear, right? We're going to swear in
Andrew Tepper or Teppy, either one.
okay. So Andrew Teppy, do you and the representative, do you swear to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So please state your name and the town that you reside in.
Andrew Tepper. I reside in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm here 4 or 5 times a year for a couple of weeks at a time.
John Pippin. I live in Honolulu.
Okay. Okay. Do you oppose the petition and explain why you would oppose the petition?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Daniele, commissioners. We have received and reviewed the petition for standing. We do not specifically oppose their claim that their interest is specifically distinguishable from that of the general public, being that the easement for the applicant's property runs directly through their property. We can see how that's different from the general public. That said, I'd like to allow Mr. Tepper the opportunity to speak to you, to introduce himself, which is why he signed up as a public testifier as well. So if this is the right time, I think, thank you.
Okay, so I just wanted to, I've never met any of you in real life. This is the first time I've met any of you. And I wanted to explain why this is so important to me, but also to recognize that anytime we do something in a neighborhood, or anytime that you're not just yourself on an island, we're going to annoy our neighbors a little bit. And, Jim and Lu Chung and who else is here? Where was Melvin? Is he still here? I'm sorry, it's for 4 days a year on, it's less than 0.03%, because if you count all that property, it's 1/1000th of the property for 4 days a year. But yeah, during those 4 days, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little bit annoying. There's going to be more traffic, and we're going to try to angle the sound up the mountain where there's another 12,000 acres I own. But it's going to be a little bit annoying. However, I think you've heard from all the people how much of a positive impact Falls on Fire has had in creating community. And having that beautiful property, I can't not do this. This is it's doing so much good. It's yeah.
If I may, I think many of the neighbors are amenable to coming to an agreement, to finding that middle ground. And it seems like we've heard that in the testimony today. And I think this kind of pause on the project, should standing be granted and mediation occur, will allow us additional time to work with neighbors to find that solution, the mitigations that makes everyone at least halfway happy, or supportive or tolerant of the few days of maybe inconvenience in the year.
Yeah. And I would like, anyone, even the people who testified against me, I would love it if you came to the event, because you might have noticed a pattern that everyone who testified in favor was someone who was at the event. And I think in every case, people who testified were against were people who did not want to come experience the event. I want all my neighbors to experience this great property Yeah, I'm fortunate that I can make this happen, but anyway, that's what I want to say. So,
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Maybe most of them for later. Yeah, we don't
Oh.
object to standing.
Oh,
That's the basic.
okay. Okay, can we have the planning director come up, please? Okay, we're going to swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth today?
I do.
Thank you.
Jeff Darrow with the Planning Department.
Do you oppose the petition? And if so, explain why.
I do not.
Okay. Commissioners, you have any questions for the director on this issue?
One question for the director. I guess my question would be, is it an unusual request? Have you in the past granted these types of requests? Well, I mean, recommended these types of requests?
I do not recall ever having, we have not had a request for a Burning Man event similar to Falls on Fire. We do receive requests for different types of activities, retreats, those kind of things.
Sorry, is that a question related to standing? Because we're only discussing the standing right now.
I guess it would be, well, let me retract the question because it is not a direct question to do with standing. It's more to do with the application. So I'll retract the question.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Deleuze, are there any other commissioners that have questions on standing? Okay. If not, as planning director, you can go back to your seat, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point in time, commissioners, is there a motion for action on the petition?
I move that motion be granted based on criteria A, the interest is clearly distinguishable from the of the general public based on the accord petitioner has established.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, so the motion was made by Commissioner Perrin, seconded by Commissioner Deleuze. Do we have any discussion on this petition for standing today? Okay, if no discussion.
I guess I'll say it. So, being that the one who filed the petition has a property adjacent to yours, we're gonna allow for you folks to go and have this done respectfully. So hopefully you folks can all come to a happy medium, hopefully.
I have tried and tried.
Okay. Okay, can we have a roll call for the motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair, on the motion to grant standing, Commissioner Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Nay.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion fails with only 3 aye votes.
Okay, we're gonna take a recess for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Coming my way.
I was supposed to drive her, and then she wasn't supposed to come back till Saturday. And then she changed it. Somebody paid for it. She got a good gig out there. Yeah. They need a good drive. Well, thanks, so. I guess they have a great director.
remember, Chair, there was a letter from the applicant requesting this. There was another one.
We have two
Right here.
more
So
items.
this letter from John Pittman. Talked about some proposed changes to conditions. So we're gonna keep those. This was us, three of them. Six. Well. 13. Oh, well. Okay. They'll probably bring it up when you ask. Okay.
Yes, we're back in.
Okay, so we are back from our short recess. Okay, so we're back to, is there a motion?
Let's go ahead and give this one a try again. All right, in the matter of the standing petition, I move that the petition be granted and include the criteria A, which is their interest is clearly distinguishable from that of the general public based on the record.
Okay, the motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Perrin, seconded by Commissioner Deleuze. Discussion? Discussion? Okay, so if there's no discussion, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to grant standing, Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki, and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion fails with only 3 affirmative votes.
Can I get a motion to move into executive session?
Can I have a second on that, please?
Second.
Thank you.
Sorry.
All in favor verbally? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session. Please clear the room.
We just need a slide. Okay.
Okay, we are back from executive session where we had legal questions for corporate counsel, which were answered. Okay. We are back to, do we have a motion on the floor?
Let's give this another shot. So to reiterate, this is in regards to the petition set forth by James McMahon and Lee Chung Hwang. I move that this petition be granted and include the criteria A, that is, their interest is clearly distinguishable from that of the general public. Petitioner has established based on the record.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, the motion's been moved by Commissioner Perrin, seconded by Commissioner Deleuze. Do we have a discussion? Okay, if no discussion, staff, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to grant standing, Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion is granted with 4 aye votes.
Great, thank you. Okay, so Planning Commission Rule 4-6 requires all parties to a contested case to proceed to participate in good faith in mediation first before any contested case is heard. A mediator shall be selected jointly by the parties or appointed by the commission if all parties fail to agree. The planning department will contact the parties by email within a week to select a mediator and start the mediation process. Selection of hearing officers. The commission needs to determine who will conduct the contested case hearing. Our rules give us the following options. 1, the commission as a whole hears the contested case, or 2, the commission designates 1 or more members to act as hearing officers, or 3, the commission hires a hearing officer to conduct the hearing. Keep in mind that even if the hearing is conducted by a hearing officer and not by the commission as a whole, the final decision on the application will be made by the commission at a public hearing based on the case records and hearings officer's recommendations. Commissioners, could I have a motion on who should conduct the contested case?
I move that the commission hires a hearings officer to conduct the hearing.
Okay, do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay. It was put forward by Commissioner Perrin, seconded by Commissioner Deleuze. Do we have any discussion? Okay, if no discussion, staff, could we have roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to hire a hearings officer, Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion carries with 4 aye votes.
Okay. The parties will be informed of the commission's actions in writing and will be contacted by the planning department shortly to arrange a mediation session. And I also need a motion to defer to the next available hearing. And until mediation is concluded.
I motion to defer Tepe Mountain application to until mediation or contested case is complete.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? If no discussion, staff, could I have a roll call, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. On the motion to defer, Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motion carries with 4 aye votes.
Okay, please, see, ask the planning department and applicant if they are prepared to proceed now with this hearing. If P.S. explain to everyone that the commission will hear. No, yes. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, so that concludes item number 2. So we're going to move on to item number 3. Okay. And Director Darrell will rejoin us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rejoin.
Okay. Agenda item number 3, applicant Jack Vanderhoff Jr. and Sue. I'm going to butcher this. Su Yin Young, PL-REZ-2024-000072. Application for change of zoning from single-family residential 10,000 square foot RS-10 zoning district to neighborhood commercial 10,000 square feet CN-10 zoning district for a 19,500 square foot parcel of land. The subject property is located at 900 Monono Street, approximately 95 feet north of its intersection with Leilani Street, Waikea House Lots, Waikea, South Hilo, Hawaii, TMK 32-2-036, parcel 113. We will now have a PowerPoint presentation by staff, Jessica Andrews. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, is this viewable on Zoom, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a rezone application for Jack Vanderhoff Jr. and Sao Yin Young. And here on the location map, you can see the subject property is located in Hilo in the Waikea House Lots area, and it's on Monono Street. So the applicants are requesting a change of zone from a single-family residential 10,000 square feet zoning district to a neighborhood commercial 10,000 square feet zoning district for 19,500 square feet of land. The applicants propose to convert the existing single-story 1,100 square foot single-family dwelling to accommodate an accounting business office operated by one of the applicants, Ms. Sao Yin Young. An existing paved driveway will provide access from Monono Street to designated parking areas, including an existing 2-car carport, 2 new parking stalls proposed at the front of the property, and 6 new parking stalls at the rear of the property. The county zoning map shows you here the subject property outlined in red at the center there. And again, it's located on Monono Street near the intersection with Leilani. The zoning primarily is single-family residential 10,000 square feet, such as the subject property. And there's also double-family residential, some light industrial, and the pink properties that you see to the south and to the east of the property are existing neighborhood commercial zoning. The entire area is designated urban by the state land use boundary map. And the area is a mix of medium density urban, which is that orange color, and high density urban, which is the red. The property is medium density. Here you see the subject properties, well, the site plan for the subject property. And you can see the existing single-family dwelling and its carport in the center there, the proposed parking at the front of the property with the driveway, the proposed driveway around on the side, back to the proposed parking area at the rear. The aerial photograph here shows you again the subject property outlined in red, shows you the general density of the area. It's a again, I would say medium density area that has residential properties. It has some commercial and light industrial properties in the nearby vicinity. Monona Street here, you see looking north on the left and looking south on the right there. The subject property is seen on the upper left there of the left-hand slide with the existing driveway from Monona Street here. And you can see the existing driveway to the right on this slide. And you can see in these pictures also the existing striping on Monona Street. There's a left-hand turn lane. They're visible on the lower slide. And these are some views looking across the subject property. The existing driveway on the upper left and right with the carport. And on the lower slide, this is the view of the backyard, which is where the proposed parking area would be located behind that existing structure. So for this one, the planning director's recommendation is to provide a favorable recommendation with conditions to the county council for this rezone PLREZ 2024-72. And that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, let me know.
Great, thank you so much. Will the applicant and or their representatives please come forward? Okay, I need to swear you guys in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission?
I do.
Okay. Please speak directly into your microphone and state your name, the town that you reside in, and whom you represent. Having received the background and recommendation reports from the planning department, do you agree with the recommendations included in the proposed conditions? And is there anything that you would like to tell the commission about your application?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair Perrin, and members of the commission. My name is Darren Arai. I'm a land use planning consultant residing in Hilo. Seated to my right is Mr. Jack Vanderhoff, Jr., and to my left, his wife, Xiaoyin Yong. We have reviewed the background report. We appreciate the thoroughness of the report as prepared by the planning department. We also appreciate the very thorough presentation that was just offered to you. We agree with the recommendation and we appreciate the favorable recommendation by the planning director, and we do agree with the conditions of approval. We do ask or request one amendment to or one change to the condition, and that was offered in a letter to you dated February 3. I apologize for the late delivery of that particular letter. But in a nutshell, the condition mandates that the existing driveway be relocated to the north. However, to the north of the property or northern portion of the property is an existing sewer and water connection. That may complicate the ability to locate the new driveway in that location. Furthermore, you may notice from the site plan that the building is about only 15 feet away from its northern property boundary. And not counting for the overhang, which is usually 3 feet, that kind of leaves only about 12 feet to squeeze a driveway through, whereas the existing driveway that's more toward the south does allow for an easier navigation to the back of the property. So we do agree with the conditions of approval and the favorable recommendation. We just ask for consideration for that one minor amendment. And if this is the appropriate time, maybe I can just give a little background. I know you had a long day.
Sure.
Thank you. Um, the reason for this request is Mrs. Young is an accountant. She currently has a place of business off of Railroad Avenue. However, her lease is up in 2027, and there's no option really for renewal of that particular lease. So she is trying to look for alternative accommodations for her and her 6 employees. In investigating and looking around town for appropriate accommodations, either what was available was either too small, or simply much too large for her needs. So this opportunity arose when they found this particular property in the house lots area. It seems to suit their needs very well, and they're hoping that by renovating the existing home and establishing a presence on the property, it would not only serve her and her employees, but would also be a reasonable use within this particular area of house lots. We have recognized testimony that was submitted to the commission expressing concerns about this particular change of zone. We would like to offer that the proposed accounting business is probably one of the best type of commercial uses that would fit into a residential area. Her biggest time of year is pretty much between February and April, tax season. Her husband just told me this morning, I think that during tax season, he doesn't even see her, so she'll probably be sleeping at her office. Businesses is open from 8 to 5 o'clock or thereabouts, right, if I remember correctly. So again, once the office closes down, then no activity occurs on the property, unlike if you have other type of residential uses. So, it is a right fit, we believe. It doesn't demand a lot of traffic going to and from the property. A lot of material can be either delivered simply by a client or transmitted electronically. And then when the taxes are done, they pick it up and off they go. So it doesn't demand a constant, how do I say, transient type of, traffic as people are passing by. They just want to stop by and, unlike a retail type of establishment. So the we saw the concerns about the privacy because of the parking lot in the back. The parking lot itself is just for employees and the applicant. But the public will simply park in the front of the building, which even the testimony declared that that is considered in their eyes a public space. So we believe with the proposed conditions of approval that requires for commercial properties landscaping buffers according to Department Rule 17, that appropriate noise and visual buffers can be implemented to help address the concerns of the adjoining neighbor. So with that, I believe we stand ready to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you for that presentation. Commissioners, do we have any questions for the planning department, staff, or applicant?
Chair, just a clarification. So Mr. Arai, the axis still has to be determined, is what you're saying, just a no axis.
Thank you for the question, Commissioner DeLuz. Yes, where the access is currently right in front of the garage, there is a possibility it might be restricted to right in and right out only because of its proximity to the Leilani Street intersection, which is why the Department of Public Works suggested that by moving it to the north side of the property, it could allow for full turning movements. But there may be existing site limitations that would preclude locating it to the north simply because the existing dwelling is scooted over to the north, making it a really tight fit to get a driveway through there, as well as the sewer and water line connections. The amended condition that we offered still places controls on public access to Manono Street, meaning it has to meet Department of Public Works requirements. So for this particular use, the applicant is totally agreeable to a right in and right out if they're unable to move the driveway. But in the future, say if through engineering, once they get their zoning, they realize like, hey, we can't make this work, then they will definitely try to investigate the possibility of moving it, shifting it to the north. But until that time, they want that flexibility because site limitations may make it prohibitively expensive to relocate the driveway.
Okay, so basically you're asking us to amend that requirement.
Correct, simply to not mandate that the driveway be shifted to
As
the
one of
north.
the, as one of the conditions
Yeah.
of the approval.
Yeah,
Okay, I just, thank you.
sure.
So, yeah.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, if no more questions, do we have any in-person testifiers for this agenda item?
No, Chair.
Do we have anyone on Zoom to testify for this agenda item?
No, Chair.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, do we have a motion for action on this agenda item?
Chair, I move that a favorable recommendation be forwarded to the county council on the application for change of zone docket number PL-REZ 2024 000072 based on the planning director's recommendation in addition to the applicant's proposed amendment change that he submitted, which shall be adopted.
Great. Do I have a second on that?
I second.
Thank you. The motion was moved by Commissioner Deleuze, seconded by Commissioner Perrin. Is there just any discussion? Okay, if no discussion, staff could I have a roll call, please?
Thank you, Chair. Okay, Commissioner Deleuze.
Aye.
Vice Chair Perrin.
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes with 4 votes.
Great, thank you. The commission will forward its recommendation to county council in writing.
Very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here we are at agenda item number 4, applicant Tirtha Lutel, PL-SPP-2024-62, application for special permit to allow the development and operation of a commercial parking lot on approximately 18,000 square foot portion of a larger 98.2850 acre parcel in the State Land Use Agricultural District. The subject property is situated directly mackay of Akaka Falls State Park on the south side of Akaka Falls Road, Onomu Homestead, South Hilo, Hawaii, TMK 3-2-8, 010, parcel 14. And we're going to have the PowerPoint presentation by Jessica Andrews.
Hello again. Okay, let me just get this PowerPoint shared. Okay, is that on Zoom, Alex?
Yep, all set.
Great. All right, this is a special permit application for Tirtha Lutel. The subject property is shown here with the red star. It is located north of Hilo, right adjacent to Akaka Falls State Park. The applicant is requesting a special permit to operate a 49 stall commercial parking lot for visitors to Akaka Falls State Park. An existing 11,500 square foot concrete pad plus an additional concrete pad of 5,000 square feet is proposed to serve as the parking lot in the 18,000 square foot permit area. And an automatic gate system is proposed for vehicular access, and a pedestrian gate would provide visitors access to Akaka Falls State Park. The reason for the request is, according to the applicant, the existing parking lot at Akaka Falls State Park is insufficient to handle the daily vehicular traffic of visitors, resulting in congestion and hazardous conditions due to overflow parking along Akaka Falls Road. So on the zoning map, you can see the property, it's outlined in red. And note that the permit area itself is much smaller. It's located out the Mackay side on the upper end of that property, looking at the slide, and it's in blue there. The permit area is immediately adjacent to Akaka Falls Road, and the zoning of the entire property is agricultural 20 acres. And across the street, there is family agricultural zoning. There is also forest reserve and other densities of agricultural zoning. The state land use boundary map designates the property as agricultural. Immediately adjacent to the north is conservation designation. The LUPAG map designates the property as important agricultural lands. With most of the area, the surrounding area is also important agricultural lands. There's also conservation, and this map is a little zoomed out to show you the town of Honolulu there, which has low density and medium density urban. The Alish map shows that the property it has two different designations. The blue is, so you see the permit area there. Once again, it's at the kind of the right side of the property. That's considered prime agricultural land in the Alish designation. And the the Land Study Bureau map shows, let me make sure I tell you the proper classification. The property is classified as C or fair, and the remainder of the property is classified as D or poor. Here you see the site plan. This is zoomed in to show mostly the permit area, and Akaka Falls Road would be on the right side of the slide, and the blue outline shows you the permit area, which is the parking area. And to the north has what they are designating as the pedestrian route, and the wall surrounding the property you can see denoted here. The next slide here shows a zoomed out view of the aerial photograph of the property. Again, you can see the entire property is undeveloped, and Akaka Falls State Park is just adjacent to the right on the slide. And you can see the proximity, this P on the map would designate the state parks parking lot for Akaka Falls. The permit area in this slide is this small area right here. And then the next slide shows you a zoomed in view of the permit area. And this is It's a little bit fuzzy, but it shows you the existing conditions in general, showing the concrete pad that's existing. This would be the proposed additional concrete pad. This is an approximation of the permit area, this yellow outline shown there. And this, of course, is Akaka Falls Road. Akaka Falls Road here, you can see looking to the south on the upper slide and looking to the north. So on the north, if you can just barely see there where there's some cars parking along the road, that's the entrance to the state park and where you would enter to the state park parking area. And these are views of the, sorry, I can't, oops, sorry about that. Let's get back. Excuse me, I was trying to make it a bit easier to view and I lost us. There we go. These are views of the permit area. Showing the existing conditions with the view across Akaka Falls Road on the upper slide and a little bit of a zoomed in view showing the permit area on the lower slide there. So the director's recommendation is a recommended denial of the special permit due to the following reasons. As the land has high potential for agricultural uses, the proposed use would not promote the effectiveness and objectives of Chapter 205 HRS as amended. The request would be contrary to the County General Plan and the Hamakua Community Development Plan, and the proposed use will adversely affect the surrounding properties. That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you. Will the applicant and or their representatives please come forward at this time?
Me again. Excuse me.
Okay, I need to swear.
Tirtha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter now before the Windward Planning Commission? Thank you. Please speak directly into your microphone, state your name, the town you reside in, and whom you represent. Having received the background and recommendation reports from the planning department, do you agree with the recommendations, including the proposed conditions? And or is there anything you'd like to tell the commission about your application?
Aloha, Chair Daniele, Commissioners, thanks for your patience, your endurance today. We're getting close. We have received John Pippin, Land Planning Hawaii here assisting our client Tirtha Lutiel on his application. He resides in Kona. I reside in Honoka'a. While we have received and reviewed, we appreciate the work of the planning department on this application. We don't agree with the recommendation of the planning director, and I'll go into why. First of all, have any of you been to Akaka Falls Park lately? Usually it's like when family or friends are visiting from out of town. You've seen both in the aerials and in the site visit photos from the planning department, folks park up and down the right of way. Folks walk up and down the right of way. Mr. Lutiel came to us with a proposed solution to this issue of a hazard on our public right of way. Provide for extra parking and safe pedestrian access to the park for a fee. So obviously we get into it. We look at all of the, site plan and the history of this property. I think we can all agree that there is a problem with parking at the state parks, and to date, the state hasn't really done anything to find a solution. That's not to say that they won't in the future, but we're coming to you with a solution right now. This proposed use is for a very small portion of a very large agriculturally zoned property, less than a half acre. The pavement for the vast majority of this parking lot is already there. And we would be more than happy to change our request to not put any additional pavement in, to just use gravel in that new area, limit the impact. Also, Mr. Luthiel wants to offer free parking to all island residents. So, you know, that's an additional benefit. So if any of us are farmers, I am personally, but full-time farming is hard on the best of days. You've got to have something else to supplement. And that's really the case here, that you can't make, in a lot of cases, an individual separate farming venture work on its own. There has to be a separate means of generating an income for the property and the farm. So that's what we're trying to do. This actually would support agricultural use of the rest of the property. So to wrap up and summarize, I mean, we're talking about Land Study Bureau soils ratings that are from the mid 60s to early 70s. And there's been quite a bit of discussion at the state level as to how applicable and useful those designations really are anymore, and the need to have them updated. So I think we should look closer at this, and I think there are things that the applicant can do to make this better, a better project in terms of not paving anymore, and again, offering free parking to locals. So with that, I'll welcome any questions you might have, and hopefully request your favorable consideration.
Hey, thank you. Sir, do you have anything to add? Yeah, okay. Okay, commissioners, do you have any questions for planning department staff or applicant?
Chair, quick question, for the planning department. It appears that this particular area where is it the whole property that's designated as high agricultural use?
Aloha, Jeff Darrow with the Planning Department. The property is within the important agricultural land designation of the general plan. As far as the map that was shown earlier, the blue was indicating prime agricultural land. It's just a small portion of the property, which is right in the front of the property where this particular proposed request is, as well as an agricultural-based commercial operation that was previously requested and approved and recently rescinded.
So so it's kind of on the tip is what I saw on the map. Is that correct?
Correct. You know, this one's a tough one. It wasn't, this recommendation didn't come easy. We had a lot of discussion. We relied heavily on the state park responses. I think their concerns are trying to limit the overcrowding of Akaka Falls. And it's not just happening here, it's happening across the state in regards to state parks and the overcrowding. So in discussions with them, they were speaking about establishing a reservation system as well as having their own mobile food service in the park. So they wanted the goal is that they take over this issue, limit the amount of people that are coming to this area by reservation. So the goal is to not, our thinking is the goal wasn't to expand the options for more people to come here. It was to allow the park to monitor that and kind of establish their reservation system and establish the amount of people that they would like to come to this state park.
Okay, so basically it is, I guess the way I'm understanding it is that they want to do something different than what is existing now, but that we don't know when that's gonna happen from that, the state standpoint.
Correct.
How many parking spaces does the state parking lot have?
I would have to look at my notes on my computer.
Okay,
I think it's 23-ish. Yeah. They're saying 23 and that,
23 parking.
Okay.
Have
That lines up
three
with
in
my
the big boss
recollection.
parking
okay,
and 20 is the Paris State parking.
okay. And what do they charge for parking?
honestly. Do you know what they charge?
It's at $10.
$10. And what are you proposing to charge?
I think same.
Hmm?
I think same one,
Same,
$10.
$10.
Same. Now, the state gains revenue through their parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah. The state needs revenue to keep parks going. No, it's not. No, it's not a question. I'm just kind of rambling, but
Yeah.
the question was about parking spaces and what they charge.
Thank you.
Is there any more accessible land to the state there in the Akaka Falls area to possibly expand?
Not to my knowledge. No, it's pretty limited.
Okay, because I know there was a little bit of ground trenching, digging going when you're in the parking lot. You have the falls on the left. To the right, there was some groundwork happening over there.
Mhm. Yeah, from.
Not part of the state.
No, I haven't heard any plans of theirs to actually expand their parking lot.
And didn't Akaka Falls just complete a renovation because of the impact tourism was having on the state park? I believe when you're facing it on the left-hand side, there was some excavation, some wall maintenance that had to be done because of the influx of tourism in the area.
Yes, well, I haven't been in the last, 6 months or a year, but one of my business partners had just a few weeks ago with visiting family. They had noticed the parking congestion. Folks parked on not only both sides of the shoulder of the road, but also in the lane of travel parked. So limiting access to a single lane and then also pedestrians in this mix,
People
which
park
is,
almost mile, more than 60 to 100 car every time parked
Yeah.
on the road.
I mean, it's not that I don't believe we'd be taking folks or taking revenue from state parks if someone can find parking that's closer to their destination. I'm assuming they would and use Mr. Lutil's parking lot in the case of overflow. So, that's my 2 cents on that.
I'm having a hard time with this. I mean, I'm trying to work it into a question. Let me think this one.
Okay.
Okay, commissioners, we have any other questions for the applicant or staff? No. Do we have any in-person testifiers?
No, Chair.
Do we have any Zoom testifiers?
No, Chair.
Okay. Now, I need a motion for action. Mhm.
Can I call for a motion for discussion? No. Okay, wait, I do have a question. Oh, gosh. Okay, so this one is aimed more towards, I guess, the state, maybe even the planning department. What is the possibility of renting this space from this individual? So that the funds accumulated here can go back into preserving the park? Because essentially that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have this influx of people, traffic, and it's gonna put this demand on Oaxaca Falls.
Thank you, Commissioner Barron. That is an option for the applicant to pursue. They can discuss the option of the state leasing their property to utilize. But the state would then have to come back for a special permit and with the applicant's authorization. But that is an option. At least at that point, we would know that the impact would be amenable to the state park, right? This one, like I said, was not an easy one to come to a recommendation. I think that would be an excellent idea to pursue. And maybe we might see it back before us in short time.
Quick question following up on that. Should the state be the applicant? The recommendation would then change?
If the state was leasing the land as part of their system from the applicant, and the applicant was getting paid for a lease, I think that would be something that we could agree upon. I think, again, this one had other factors as well, and we discussed those earlier, the agricultural issues, but the main heartache that we had was just this discussion with the state and how they were thinking this was going to affect their process to implement what they were trying to do.
I have another question. That's obviously a very big piece of land. What other activities are going on that land? Is there ag going on?
They have done a good deal of planting, yes.
Before we already start the egg zone, we put over there in the more than 1,000 papaya and more than 200 in the coconut, and we plan to make the 1,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot greenhouse, and after we do start the farming. So like 2 and 3 years ago, but they have a little bit problem for agriculture. They have a lot of raining. So any kind of the plantation, when I put all the dye, so we cannot survive over there in the one leafer agriculture base. So that's why, so my plan is where I am going to over there, open the food truck. So we already got the permit, that one, but only food truck, it doesn't have a base use. I don't have enough sustaining over there. That's why, so this is a little bit better for me. That's maybe some car is parking over there, a lot of car in the outside. So that's why, so I think that one, when I got the permit, we can start how much we can the agriculture, and we can sell the farm to table kind of the food truck. So we can start all 3 businesses, all 3 at the same time. This is my plan.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other questions, commissioners? And if not, we need a motion for action.
Can we motion to go into executive session? I have a lead question to ask.
Do I have a second on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're gonna go into executive session. Thank you. session. We had legal questions for Corporation Counsel, which were answered. Okay, so we are at, is there a motion for action on agenda item number 4?
I have to say, I really appreciate you wanting to step forward and do this. I really do. Um, Goodness.
Chair,
Yeah.
could I say something before motion is made? Like I said, this one's a tough one. In speaking with the applicants, we all agree that there's a need, right? There is a need. There's no question. The difficulty we have, again, that's planning, is, hearing something from the state and we don't want to, step on toes or, get in their way of effectuating. But in speaking with the applicants, it's my understanding that they have been approached by the state already. That was something I did not hear about until today. It says in our recommendation that this recommendation may be altered based on additional information presented at the public hearing. And those things happen at times. So I'm just bringing that out because this is new information that I was unaware of. If the commission is so inclined to consider that information and consider an alternative, we can work with the commission to draft conditions if that's something the commission is open to. Just a thought to put out there.
Is applicant willing to defer?
Can I speak with the applicant
Sorry.
for a moment?
Sure.
Little bit language problem, sorry for that.
Just coming back. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
For the decision.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's fine with deferral.
Okay, we wait already.
Okay,
So,
okay,
Chair, I would
yes.
move with the recommendation, the applicant's willing to defer. And I guess further discussion with the planning department. Thank you.
I will second that.
Okay, so the motion to defer agenda item number 4 because of new information that came to light just today. So we will do that. It was moved by Commissioner Perrin and seconded by, Vice Chair Perrin and Commissioner Deleuze. Discussion? No discussion. Staff, we have roll call.
And just to clarify, it was moved by Commissioner Deleuze and seconded
Oh.
by Vice Chair Perrin.
Thank you. This is a motion to defer. Commissioner Deleuze,
Aye.
Vice Chair Perrin,
Aye.
Commissioner Takaki,
Aye.
and Chair Daniele.
Aye.
The motion carries with 4 votes.
Chair, could you please clarify, was the motion to defer to the next meeting or until discussions are completed with the
Yeah, I think
department?
until discussions are complete or next meeting.
Next
Yeah,
meeting?
yeah, we'll
Okay,
defer
thank
that
you.
to the next meeting. They'll give them enough time to
Okay, thank
figure
you.
things out. Okay, moving on to other business. Okay, so the report on special management area SMA determination of minor permits issued by the planning director for the month of December 2024 and January 2025 report. The SMA reports were distributed via email. Does any of the commissioners have questions on the SMA reports? Okay, no questions. Commissioners, are there any matters that you would like to agendize for any future meetings? No. Okay, the Windward Planning Commission's next regular meeting is tentatively scheduled for Monday, March 10th, 2025, here at the County Council Chambers in Hilo. And the public can also testify via Zoom or in person. The date and venue of the meetings are subject to change. Staff, do we have any other announcements, and do we know what we have in store for the March 10th meeting?
Yes, Chair, you have 4 items tentatively scheduled, including this last item.
Okay, thank you very much.
No other announcements.
Thank you. If no further business, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn meeting.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Motion moved by Vice Chair Perrin, seconded by Commissioner Deluse. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. This meeting is adjourned at 4:32 p.m. Thank you.
Please note the closed captions transcript will be terminated shortly, and those who wish to save the transcript should do so now.
Well,